It's the dreamscape.
Welcome back, dreamers, to Indie Synergy Exchange, your podcast for all things indie art and creation. I am your host, Tanner Giese, also known as Number 2 Pencil Man, owner of Tanner's Tales Entertainment, and tonight I might be riding solo, who knows? Katie might join, Rachel might join, Frae might join, but it was not a definite, so we'll find out. If they join in, they'll just randomly come in, I'll be like, hey, look, they're here. But otherwise, I'm running the show tonight. But before we start, I have a guest joining me tonight. We have the one and only, the amazing Goose, our first ever clown guest. So let me hit this button here. The audience loves you. I'm sure we're all going to be loving you by the end of the night. This is fantastic. But before we get into who Goose is and what she does, I want to just take a moment here to say if you are liking this podcast, please be sure to follow us on our social medias at the Dreamscape Empyrean. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss another great interview. We've had so many amazing guests. There's already 11 episodes before this one up on our channel now that you can watch. I'd say 9 of those 11 episodes have different guests, and we've had so many ranging from musicians to comic book writers to poets. The list goes on and on. There are a lot of amazing indie creators out there, and that is what we're hoping to build, a platform for indie creators. So all of your support helps us build that platform. So please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening to our audio platforms, be sure to follow us there, drop some ratings, and help us grow. We want to build this up so we can help other indie creators get their stuff out there. Well, that's enough about that. I have a wonderful guest here. I want her to introduce herself. So Goose, tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, hello. So I am Goose, or Mother Lucy Goose the Clown. I am obviously a clown. I consider myself a party clown. I am an entertainer. I am a juggler. I am a face painter. I am a balloon twister. I am just a spirit of whimsy, if you will.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is a fun title. So I gotta ask, you are a clown. How did you become a clown? Like, what is the story behind it?
So for me, it's a funny story, and it's not the same for everyone. I was going through somewhat of a dark time in my life, and I was just like regular depression type stuff, like no energy into almost anything. Was avoiding friends, was avoiding kind of life itself, and one of my friends was really insistent that I needed color back in my life, and the first thing that she suggested was clowncore, and she was sending me pictures of like these really cute outfits, and she's like, you need to do something like this. And I was like, yeah. And she kept sending me these clown girls, and she was like, this is who you should be. And I was like, I really don't get it. And then one day, I'm not sure what clicked, but I was just like, I kind of like that. And her and I have, we go thrifting together, and I started slowly picking out more colorful things. And then it was like one summer day in end of 2023, and I was like, I've got nothing to do. It's like a long weekend, and I ended up putting on clown makeup, and it was fantastic. I did also lock myself out of the house, so I was stuck like that for a couple hours. But
What an introduction into that.
Right? I was like, you know what? We're going to get comfortable doing this in public, I guess.
It was like fate.
It was
you're
fate.
locked out now. You're going to be a clown.
Right? And I don't know, it kind of like pulled the whole scenario together, like that I was in clown paint, I'm locked out of my house, I can do nothing but laugh, right? And it was probably the first time in a long time that I had the ability to laugh at myself, and be joyous in it. And that was such like an incredible thing for me. And then I did exactly what she said. I started bringing more color into my life. I started wearing like rainbows, polka dots, stripes. I started mixing my patterns. And I started doing more fun things with my makeup. And that gave me the energy to, like, I started doing my hair again. And all of a sudden I'm out and about. And then I ended up picking up a long time hobby that I'd started as a kid, which was juggling. And I got myself a juggling coach. And I started like posting about it online. And it just kind of snowballed. I ended up like I created my name, which Lucy Goose, and someone later was like, "You're like Mother Goose, like all of your flock," and so I added that to the name as well. But it's just been an incredible journey. Like I balloon twisted as a kid. My grandfather used to bring me back my
Interesting.
marionette and like porcelain clown masks from Italy. And it's just like a lot of things that have been always there. Like I used to go to the Renaissance Fair as a jester from like age 5 to 15.
Wow.
Right? So like just like all these things kind of like it sort of clicked as a clown.
It feels like it fits perfectly. Like
Yeah.
I hear like different people that we've interviewed, they've always said, "Well, I've had these talents as a kid." And here you are like, "I didn't start it till 2023 where I officially put on like the makeup and stuff, but as a kid I juggled, I balloon twisted." I'm like, "Wow, it's like that is such a perfect story to like bring it all together. That's incredible." Did you know back when you were a kid that you were going to do something with it, or did you just do it as a hobby?
I think it was like always like the fantasy of like I could run away with the circus, knowing who I was as an individual. Like that was like not even a realistic dream. But I wanted to be like, yeah, she could. She totally could. I know most of those things, like I'm an only child, most of those things I learned out of boredom. Yeah, just kind of like wanting something to do like that were solo activities. Although I have to say, balloon twisting by yourself
Hmm.
is not the most fun because you end up with like a pile of balloons and you're like, what do I do with them all?
Throw a balloon party.
Exactly, right? And you run out of shelves. It's a whole thing. But
That's
yeah,
fun.
none of those things like really translated to me having this dream, but it does feel like I came back full circle and I've been like finding my inner child and nourishing that, which is probably like the most healing thing that clowning could have done.
That's incredible. Like I can see that. Like clowns are always so here's something that I've been thinking about because clowns nowadays have like two different, I would say, like stereotypes. You got the fun circus happy, the tomfoolery type clowns, and then you have a lot of what movies have made them into with like horror. And I've noticed that like the horror genre clowns are kind of like more of like what's dominant of what I've noticed lately in culture. So I'm curious, like as a clown yourself now, how do people interact with you? Like what kind of gigs do you get? How do you feel like you're seen as a clown?
So, I like to do the wide array. Halloween is my favorite. I have a standing gig with a haunt that I work with, and they have a daytime festival. So, I do balloon twisting in a family friendly, spooky clown look. And sometimes that goes over into the haunt. And I will say that there has been probably 5 children who were wary at the haunt
Mm.
like that I was working, and a handful, like maybe 2 dozen grown men who thought I was terrifying because I actually wasn't in like the typical haunt clown stuff, and because I was so like it was like this but with all black basically, like that's the makeup. But because I was so cartoonish almost, like they've been terrified, and I think that's really funny
That is
personally.
funny.
But I do all sorts of things. I've done like, roving juggling gigs. I just did a benefit fundraiser, and that was fantastic. I did a 1-year-old's birthday party
Oh,
recently. Yeah, I did face painting for a nonprofit that works with kids who are fostered and recently adopted. Um, Trying to think what else, like what other good things have I done? I've done like school things. I did like a charity backpack day that was run. But I do all sorts of things. I would love to, I think, someday haunt, but I am I'm a big scaredy cat.
hmm.
So I'm working with my haunt clown friends on ideas of what I could do at a haunt that wouldn't also make me jump out of my skin.
I get that. I'm totally not one to do the scary things, but
Yeah.
when I do, I get like so scared I talk. It's like my like mad natural thing is I'm like trying to talk to all the scary people. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna call you Billy Bob and you this and this, and then they're just gonna like they look at me like you're weird. You're not terrified. I'm like I'm terrified. This is what I do.
Cope.
Yep, this is my way. I just don't want to be here.
I love
So if you
it.
could do it, more power to you. I don't know though. If I was an actor, maybe it would be a little easier, but I don't know.
The only everyone tells me like if you're a haunt actor, it's way easier. But I can see a jump scare coming from a mile away, and I still jump for it, and I'll squeal. So I don't know. Maybe that would make it funnier if I'm dressed in clown. We don't know, but we shall see in the future.
Oh, man. So you cover a wide variety of events that you just said. Have you, I don't know, like have you ever worked with a circus before? Is that I know that they don't have too many of them anymore.
Yeah.
So,
So I have not. I think it's like a huge dream. I do know some people who have worked for the circus, and I think it really depends. I say it would depend for me because I have a full time job on what I could do. I
mm,
have a friend Ruggles the clown who is doing the Shriners Circus tomorrow and the
oh,
rest of the
that's
weekend.
cool.
That's much more feasible in terms of like circus participation. But I know friends who've traveled with circuses, and I think that's fantastic. And I don't know if there comes a point in like time where I'm financially secure enough that I could just go off and join the circus, I absolutely would.
That's awesome. So that is like the dream now since
Yeah,
you've done it.
it is.
That's cool.
At least
That is
once, you know?
It would be awesome. Like I love circuses. I love watching all the different acts that people do, and it's just like I don't know. It's nowadays there's not as much of that as there used to be, and it's a shame because those things add so much whimsy to life. Like you said, whimsy is important. It really is. It helps people to dream. It helps to inspire creativity. If you don't have that everyday like that cool whimsy stuff to see or that amazing things that you think just defies the normal mundane world, everybody's just going to slink into that mode where it's just like, there's just it's not colorful. It's just black and white, grays. You go through the motions. But I find like those things really make such an impact on people. And that is why I'm so fascinated by what you're doing and your story of how it brought you so much joy and brought color back into your life. Have you noticed that towards anybody that you've like worked for or the people that witness your art as you are performing? Have you seen like the spreading of that and how does that make you feel? Give me some of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so I belong to a clown alley and we meet regularly and we usually meet in public places. And we just get together. We all like this is gonna sound so silly, but we all like honk our horns and we like take out our juggling balls and we'll juggle, we'll make balloons, and it's genuinely like just a very silly, lighthearted good time. There has definitely been many a time where we have had people in the same venue as us and they'll come interact and you can see like them light up. I've had people come up to us and say like, you've gotten me over my fear of clowns. I actually have a personal friend who, you know, been friends for 10 years, and last April I went to an event with her and I warned her. I was like, I'm going in full clown to this event, and we had a blast that day, and she asked to join me, and she was like, would it be cool, like, if I like did the clown thing, like totally don't want to like step on any toes. And I was just like elated, and it's been so fun like watching her come out of her shell. It's been fantastic seeing her, like we're both girls who wear black at home, like we're all black gray, like that's just who we are. And then like both of us will come out in full color clown, and it's just so much fun. I don't know, like even like watching her find her clown makeup, because finding your clown makeup is a whole thing. It is a
Mm.
process. It's not done overnight. It's a lot of trial and error. And once you see someone find their makeup, like it's just like it's such a good feeling because you're like, wow, like they did, like that's it, that's the one. I don't know, it's great.
No, that was actually another thing I wanted to ask because every clown seems to have a different palette of makeup they use, and I think that's what makes each clown so unique. So you said like you find it yourself. Was there like a journey that went into you finding yours?
Yeah, there was. So in the clown world in general, like it's like a it's an unspoken rule, but if you speak to anyone, it's very much well spoken. We don't copy each other. So each clown is very unique and we all have our signature look. And while like two Auguste clowns, which is when they have like just the white area around like mouth and face, they could have the same white area, it's still different and it's personal. And maybe that's changed by the nose, maybe it's changed by their eye markings. But for everyone, it really like it. I would say it takes like at least a year to find your makeup. My makeup started out completely different than this. I was convinced I was not a white face clown. I was like, there's no way you'll catch me doing the entire white face. That's so much work. No, thank you. And I mean, here I am now. I would say like I have two looks that I love. I do. This is a variation of my look, just because it's late at night and I was a little sleepy. But I have another one where I do a big heart eye, and those are like the two things that I gravitate to. But even with the stars, I would say I just found my official star look in February of this year, and I started this in August of 2023.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's been quite the journey.
That is awesome. And along with the makeup, does the makeup like tell, like, I'm just interested to know, does like the makeup tell people about like their personality as a clown? Like if you look at somebody's makeup, can you tell like what kind of clown they are?
So there are stereotypes that go with the makeup. So you have white faces, typically like the boss clown. They are like in charge. They're the clowns. Like if you think of the Three Stooges, how you have Mo, Larry, and Curly. Like they each have like like one's in charge, one's a little dumb, and one's kind of like there for comedic relief.
Hmm.
You have a goose, which is typically the goofier. Like they are like they're continuously tripping over themselves, right? They've exaggerated expressions, and then you have the hobo or the tramp look. And typically that's like a sad clown.
Mm.
And as much as like, hobo tramp kind of lends to that, typically their whole thing is that they're still super kind and they're super like friendly and loving and smiley, even though they usually do have a frown painted on. And I think that's so beautiful, just in
Hmm.
general. The idea behind like the tramp clown is that they chose that lifestyle, like that's what they wanted to do. So while they may be frowning, they're still happy about it. I'm trying to think if there's another. There's also like character clowns, and you'll know a character clown when you see them. This is like the fireman clown. This is
Okay.
I'm trying to think of. It's the only one I can think of. So like Clown Vis. So he's Clown Elvis.
Okay.
So clowns that are absolutely like being a specific character, and typically they have that same kind of stereotypical personality that goes with what their character is. And technically, Santa Claus could be considered a character clown.
Interesting.
I know.
Wow. I never knew Santa was a clown.
Yeah, I've had Santas at clown school.
Really?
Yes.
Now, that's another point I wanted to talk about. Clown school. Did you actually go to clown school, or is that what the alley is kind of as well?
No. So I'll explain the alley as well. But so clown college is real. There are a bunch of them. So the one that I go to is the New England Clown Institute, and that is hosted by the Aleppo Shriners. And it's been around for a hot minute. There's also like Mooseburger's Clown Camp. There's Coney Island Clown School. I'm trying to think, there's one in Kentucky, the Kentucky Clown Summit, that's happening in a few months. There's like a ton of them. Those are just the ones like I'm personally interested in. But it's cool. Like they all vary. Like some are a couple days. Some are like Mooseburger is a week long camp. I don't know. It's super fun. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's you go to learn, talk about makeup skills, legal stuff, business, like just the art of clowning, skits and props. And then at the end of the day, you usually have like some sort of jam session with the other clowns. And I mean, for my experience, like we were up till midnight, balloon twisting in the lobby every night. And I was out there when I get overstimulated at night. I like to euthanize all the balloon animals. So that's how I ended every night, was putting them all to sleep and shrinking them down. But yeah, but a clown alley, though, I want to express like the differences in that. So a lot of people get confused on what a clown alley is. So a clown alley is a group of clowns that form a club, almost similar to like you think of like a Lions Club or something like that. Like it's a group of adults who meet, and this is our craft. This is our common purpose. And when we meet, we usually are skill sharing, or we're celebrating, or we're just networking. So our alley meets once a month. It's open to the public. It's 21 plus. And it's just a bunch of clowns genuinely getting together to celebrate something we love.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's cool. They last like 2 hours long, and it's just really an excuse to go see my clown friends at this point.
I think that's fantastic. So my family has always been open to this kind of stuff. Like my uncle very much loved circus stuff, and I know that quite a few times my parents had brought up, well, not just my parents and uncle, they said stuff about clown college and about we should go to clown college and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's actually really cool to hear all this stuff about it. It's going with the clown college thing though, I gotta ask, did you actually like do you get like any like graduation type stuff if you go to that?
Do you want me to grab my certificate?
Oh yeah, I'd love to see
Hold
it.
on.
That would be so cool.
Alright. So it's gonna fall out, but this is my clown college.
Wow.
So I got 20 clock hours in the general art of clowning this year. And what's cool about the one that I go to, and I don't think all of them do this, but you earn hours towards, we'll call it like levels of clowning.
Mm-hmm.
So there are 2 levels that you can achieve at my school. One is a craftsman clown, and the second one is a master clown. So that's my other dream, is I have a master of art and teaching, and that's on my LinkedIn. And
Wow.
I want to put MAT next to master clown on my title. That would be the silliest dream I could ever accomplish.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So you went to another college as well, then.
That's the one I've done. I do have a second diploma in here, but this is actually for the Red Nose Readers. So this is a nonprofit that does a clown reading hour that I'm a part of. So you would go to a library or classroom, you would come not in clown, and you would explain a little bit of the history of clowns. For kids, we talk about how, the media does portray clowns as the villain in some sorts, but those are fictional, just like,
Mm-hmm.
movies are fictional. And clowns, when you meet them in real life, are typically just a person. And then we would put on our makeup and show, like, look, see, I'm just like you. And then we do, like, a little activity for them and, like, would juggle or balloon twist or play ukulele or something. So,
That sounds like so much fun. That's
yeah.
incredible. The amount of opportunities that you have as a clown. That's amazing. And I wanted to ask too, because you said there were 2 categories of clown. There was the craftsman clown and then the master's clown. What's the difference between the 2 levels? Is there?
So it's about how long you've done it. So you earn points every year you go. And you get, it's like a whole point system. But the first 3 years you go, you get 3 points for attending. And then after that, you get 1 year for attending, or 1 point per year for attending, and then you get the rest by competing. So there are clown competitions all over the country. It's usually for makeup and skits. And so based on what you place, you also get points for that. So my friend Ruggles, who I mentioned earlier, she is actually now on the board at New England Clown Institute, and she's a master clown. She earned it this year, or she earned it before, yeah, and she's going to be on the board officially. She'll be inducted next year. And we get to see our friend Kate the Clown. So she competed. She won first place in both a single balloon animal and a goose clown. And so she earned the title of craftsman clown. So it's like really cool, but it's like things to achieve. Kind of like it when you get your degree, right?
Hmm.
You get an associate's degree, you could get a bachelor's or a master's. It's essentially the equivalent of that. You can be a craftsman clown, you can be a master clown. Yeah.
That's so cool. And do you get different opportunities based on which level of clown you are, or is it just kind of like open to any level?
Yeah, mostly bragging rights. But I think it gives you some credibility if you were to go and do workshops or teach. I don't know, there's a lot of things that you can do as a clown. I've talked about this with a lot of the people in my clown alley. Like, there are different things that you can do. Like, you can be like a social media presence. You could go do hospital clowning. That's an entire category of clowning that I haven't even touched upon, but I think is so phenomenal.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I say you can do like just strictly library reading hours. You can just do balloons. You don't have to do any of that. You can join the circus. You can do parties. I don't know, it's pretty fun.
That's awesome. I feel like in a way we're kind of doing similar things because I, as number two pencil man, I just started my own business last year. I've had the costume now for about 2 years. It started as a social media thing, and just in October I came out with my comic book. And with that, I've also been getting gigs at libraries. So
Yeah,
it's like I'm starting to do workshops, and eventually maybe I'll get into hospitals and schools. So it's like really cool to see like it's really a form of performing arts, and it's great to see that it is being taken seriously still.
yeah,
I felt like for so long clowns were just like a thing nobody really thinks of anymore. And it's amazing to see like you guys are thriving. Like you are, in a way it feels like a revival of being clowns is coming back, and it's really fun to hear like you who are in it like talk about all these things and talk about your community. And if I read your social media right, are you actually the leader of that clown alley?
I'm one of four. So we have Kate the Clown, our founder, and then we have Slortex, which are two halves of the same clown entity. So we have Slinky the Clown and Vortex the Clown, and then
Interesting.
myself. So Kate is an Goose clown, I am a white face, and then Slortex, both of them are haunt clowns. So we bring like a lot of diversity in terms of who we are as leaders, and in general, I think just good perspective coming from different industries and backgrounds, which is fun.
That's awesome. And how long have you been a part of the clown alley?
So the Clown Alley just turned 1 year old in March.
Oh, hold on a second. I got something for that. Shout out to the clown alley 'cause I'm sure they're going to be watching this.
I love that. Yeah, so we had our 1 year celebration at Coney Island's Hot Dog,
And Katie's
which
here now.
hi Katie,
Hi.
nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah, but you can continue with your thought.
Oh yeah, so I joined the Clown Alley at the second meet. I It's so funny because I feel like we were the whole alley, if you will. We were all feeling very isolated, and Kate had this idea that I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm gonna put it into the universe, and if I find my people, like they'll find me back, right? And so she put the clown alley out. I think she had like 8 or 10 people who showed up the first time, which feels huge for not knowing if there was anyone that would come, right?
Yeah.
I was in Florida visiting my mom at the time, and I like immediately messaged when I saw it, and I was just like, "This is not far from me." And she was like, "Girl, I thought you were a Florida clown." And I was like, "Nope." And it just like it's continued to grow like that. And at our 1 year anniversary, we had 38 people show up,
Wow.
which is crazy. It's fantastic. We had 19 members go to clown college this year. I don't know, it's just grown into something absolutely like beautiful, and it just makes me really happy.
And that's awesome. And you've been in with it since almost the beginning then.
Yeah.
Wow, that's got to feel really cool to watch it grow as it has, like almost tripled, more than tripled in size.
Yeah, it does. We've got like a lot of cool plans for the future of the Woo Clown Alley, including like we want to put together. I'm working with my accountant. We're gonna do a business for clowns workshop so that everyone that is starting their own clown business feels prepared to do their own taxes, and like we want to do more things like that. We've talked about doing some charity things. We would love to do like a parade together. That's another thing that you can do as a clown is parades.
But yeah,
But yeah, the future is bright for the Woo Clowns. I'm excited.
I'm just excited in general. Like everything that you've been telling me, it's fantastic to see the resurgence of the clowns. It's like you guys are taking back the stereotype. You're like, nope, this is the way that we've been portrayed for so long. Nah, this is how we really are. And that's awesome. It's a real
Yeah,
genuine clown revival.
it is. And we have like our group, we have so many haunt clowns. And I mean, we have scary clowns. Like we have super scary clowns. And I love them to death. Like they are some of my favorite people in the world, and they do a fantastic job when we go out in public. That they do tone it down because it's not Halloween, right? We've talked about how it can just be jarring to see someone in like full haunt mode, but they don't lose their sense of self, and I love that for them. Like they still fill up authentically themselves, but maybe without a couple of the extra special effects.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that's been important too, that we've had them as authentically as they are. Like we are still welcoming. We love to show them off because we just adore them. And all of the haunt clowns I know, they're some of the funnier clowns. Like genuinely, they are some of the most comedic relief of the group. And I love for them too that they're able to share this or to break the stereotype that like even a scary clown is always scary.
Mm-hmm.
At heart, they're still a clown, and like we're not in Terrifier, like right, no one's out murdering anyone. Like we're
Hopefully
still
not.
yeah, but like we're still allowed to like give like a little boo and like a little jump scare, and it doesn't detract the fact that they are a clown. They might have some amazing skills. Like Vortex has some of the funniest bits that I have ever seen in my entire life, and like some are a little disgusting, but like it fits their clowns as well, and it's
Mm.
just fantastic. I like that we are such a diverse group of clowns. And yeah, I don't know. We do really great when we're out in public, and I think that's fantastic too.
No, that's incredible. Man, I can tell you're really passionate about what you do. And that comes through. I saw when you got up to show me your certificate, I saw guitars on the wall. So I just kind of want to I want to ask more about you now. Are you just a clown, or do you do other things too, like music and other art stuff?
Yeah, so I'm definitely like a creative soul. So I play guitar and ukulele, and I sing as well. And I draw. So like something I do actually for my group is I've drawn a ton of stickers for people that want to like start their little branding and have no idea where to do.
It's awesome.
I say it's hard to see, but these are all stickers I've drawn of my clown. This is my little clown
That's
notebook.
awesome. I love
Yeah,
Those are
that.
really good.
thank you. I'm saying some more on that side too, but just like silly things, and I don't know. I sold art for a while. I'm trying to think what else creative I do. I'm like a very multifaceted person. I used to teach high school science, so a lot of my art used to revolve around like science subjects as well. Um, but yeah,
That's incredible. And it's fun to see, like, when you talk to other creators, it's normally like, yeah, we do this, but we also do this and this and this. And it's just like, it's incredible to see, like, when you have that creative soul, like, how you're able to, like, use that energy in so many different things. She's amazing. Just want to say, yeah, did you have something? I know you weren't here for most of this, but did you want to?
Uh, I mean, I'm not sure that I do yet because I don't want to ask a question that's already been
well,
asked.
that's
You
okay.
never know.
I mean, I don't have anything at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. When she does, she'll let us know.
Like, it is really cool though. I do find most creative people like they dabble in a lot of things, and I think in general like creative people undersell how well they can dabble.
Mm,
I think that's so common, and I don't know. I think that's like one of the best things about clowning is that there are so many opportunities to use those skills that I have. So like even with the red nose readers, it's literally suggested in the training that if you can like maybe you play ukulele at the end because it's a great little clown instrument.
it is.
I have a couple friends who picked up concerta because that's apparently the first instrument they thought their clown would do. I personally love a good slide whistle. I would say that's my latest instrument is the slide whistle.
So are you learning how to play it?
I mean, it's just you slide in and out.
Yeah. Still
I
got to
like
be
doing.
an art to it, get the
Yeah,
little.
oh, definitely. Yeah, doing like the correct slide for the moment is definitely an art, but I would say I use that to annoy people more than like,
I'd be the walking sound effect person if I had one of those. Like follow behind people and wait for them to do something or something
yeah,
like that. That sounds
right?
like so much fun.
You do
It
it to
is,
me and I'd probably get mad.
Yeah, I know.
I'd be so
right?
focused and then he'd come right behind me and I'd be like, what are you doing?
Fantastic. But yeah, it's cool. Like we have a bunch of people in our clown alley like that do puppets. One of my friends had actually gone for puppetry to school. She switched over. She wants to be a mortician now. But it's so cool, like seeing the stuff that she creates. A lot of the people in the group too, myself included, like we'll make some of our own props or our own costumes. My newest costume was made by a clown, and I don't know, it's fantastic too, like getting to support people and seeing their creative endeavors and like seeing them come to a meet and being like, look, I made this for everyone. And it's actually, oh, I might have it. One of our clown stitches showed up. I think it's in here. She is. And she had just out of clay one night, she made little baby clown people.
Oh,
This is my clown.
that's cool.
Right?
That's
I
adorable.
don't know, it's fantastic. It makes me so happy.
Man, I love it. I love hearing that. I love how you guys are able to blend it all together, like all your different creative like endeavors. You can just bring it all together in clowning, and I think that makes it even better and makes each clown even more unique. That is really cool. Like I am so fascinated by all this stuff.
Yeah, it
This
definitely
is
does. It's built like a community, and like I can't even express how grateful I am for the community because it's all creatives, it's all
Mhm.
people that make me belly laugh like I've never belly laughed before. Just some of the most interesting people I've ever met, as you can assume a clown should be, right? There's none of us got in here because we were like, well, our parents said we had to go to clown school because it's the family trade. We do have legacy clowns who, like, their grandparents or their parents were clowns, and so they continued the tradition, and that's super cool too. I don't know, it's a very fun community.
Yeah, I feel like most people would just talk down about clowns like that. Like, no one would be like, "You're gonna go to clown college." They would use that as like a negative thing, and that's kind of how I've seen it used. Like everybody just they don't take clowns seriously, but I think like they appreciation needs to be given where it's due, and the clowns definitely deserve so much more than what they've been given for so long. And I think that part of it is it's strange, it's unusual, and that kind of stuff normally like helps people transition into more creativity, more whimsy, and it meets a lot of resistance from the things that are just mundane. And so I think that's also part of why they get like that two-sided type stereotype. And I think I think it needs to be like I'm just for all the oddities stuff. I love oddities. I've always been big into it. My one of my first book signings for my comic book was actually at an oddities store here in Pennsylvania because I'm like I'm just gonna try everything. And you know what? A pencil superhero is odd, so why not? And it's just like that kind of stuff. As I said earlier, it just inspires creativity in me, and I want to see more of that. And I think the culture is shifting. There's been more of a shift in culture where people are looking for the strange and the unusual because I feel like there's just a big outcry where everybody's tired of the mundane 9 to 5 black and white dull gray world. Everybody's looking for something to put that spark back into life, and that's why I think what you guys are doing is so important, first off, and also deserves to be appreciated more. And I think you guys are kind of like the pioneers of it because honestly clowns have been around for a while. They're like one of the oldest whimsical oddity things. Like you think back to the circus, one of the first things you're going to associate with it is clowns. And the circus was like one of the first big things that came, and everybody was like, okay, that's weird. And you guys have stuck around, and you guys are like the pioneers that paved the way. And it's great to see you guys really still making an impact today. I think that's incredible.
Yeah, it's so interesting because there's been a lot of people in my life, like my personal life, who I've mentioned I'm a clown now. and they do have very negative reactions, and
Mm,
it's usually like, why would you do that? Is something wrong with you? Um, and I think there's only been two people, I would say, who are still wary because of their own fear of clowns. But after expressing, like, it's authentic joy that I get from it. And it feels healing to my inner child. It's a reason to laugh again. It's a reason to be colorful. And when people hear people's reasoning for clown, I feel like the stigma's kind of released of like, it's a, it's something to mock,
mm,
because we're not ashamed of it, right? Like, this is something that I get paid good money to go dress up like this,
I
and
bet.
it brings me joy. And so, like, what do you have to make fun of?
Mm.
But I also think that, like, when you talk about like a resurgence of like oddities and stuff, I think people want to be authentic.
Hmm.
And I feel like the last 20 years of societal pressures has really like pushed people into being normative and fitting in a box that a lot of us don't want to.
Hmm.
And I think that like clown is something that, like, I don't dress like my clown. My clown is a whole other world from the way that I am at work than I am in my personal life. But it does represent like a very large part of me, and I think like it is, although it's different from how I dress when I'm comfortable, it's still very authentic to me, right? So,
Hmm.
and I don't know, I think about too, like, people like have told me and my friends when we're out at our clown alley that, like, they love seeing us be so carefree. And I think that that's something that people have lost some of their ability to be, is that they constantly have this fear of being judged,
Hmm.
for who they are, who they would rather be. And it's like, you're already judging me because I'm in a clown. What are you gonna do? Laugh at me?
I
I'm gonna make a
mean, that's the
joke.
point, right?
Yeah.
You're turning that judgment into a weapon against them, and then actually it's not a weapon. It's something that helps heal them in a way. It's like, ha, go ahead and laugh. It's only gonna heal you. And then
Yeah.
they're like, what? It worked. And it's like, wow. At
Right?
least that's how I see it playing out in my mind. But I can relate. Like being number two pencil man, like I've for so long now have gone through the motions, and for the first time when I step into the character, it's like I get to fully be everything I want it to be. And I'm like, I'm in a costume. Why do I need to worry what other people think? But I think it's also a guide for me because I want to get to that point. Like I don't just want number two pencil man to be the only time I get to feel that way. And
Yes.
so I want to find the time where I start to gradually take steps in my own personal life to not just put the costume on and be that, but to be me and be that. And I feel like it's a guide. And
Yeah.
I think just by being that, and like what you're saying, people want that just by showing that to them, showing them that that reality is possible. I think that
Yeah.
helps shift their reality into that and might give them hope. And before you know it, I mean, we've probably inspired people that we don't even know about. You as a clown and me as a giant pencil, and
Yeah,
you as a
exactly.
fairy.
Oh,
Because
that's
Katie's a
sweet.
fairy as well.
I love that.
So that's incredible, and I love hearing your perspective on it because I'm right there with you. I'm like this. We have that same vibe, that same wavelength. I'm finding like so many more people are on that, especially creatives. It's like in the
Yeah.
last maybe two, actually maybe 5 years, people have started to really wake up to this and be like, you know what? I'm gonna do what makes me happy, and
Yes.
I'm gonna pursue this. And we find a common purpose of doing this for us, but then also helping to free the world and to help make the world a better place that we want to like see. And that's the amazing opportunities of creativity, whether it's through clowning, being a pencil, writing stories, writing music. And creativity stretches far beyond just art and music. It's so much more. It's anything that you can express yourself through that brings you that life, energy, and joy and passion. And it's endless. And I'm just so happy to be living in a time where I feel like the tide is shifting finally, where we can actually seize that again, where we can come back to life, where we can actually make our dreams reality. And I just get so excited when I talk to other people who feel the same way. Like that's my thing. I get so pumped and
I get that though. That's exactly how I feel. Like, clowning has brought me all of those people that make me feel like I have endless opportunities and endless possibilities of where I can go and what I can do, like in or out of clown. And having that like resurgence of passion in my own life and energy, I don't know, it's just fantastic. Like, it makes me want to learn new things. It makes me want to learn new skills. It makes me want to, like, draw again. I had stopped drawing for years. Now I'm doodling all the time because I have the inspiration to. And I haven't even seen, like, my clown friends in 2 months. I'm just like, what would be funny? I go doodle it out.
No, I love it.
It's so good.
I love it.
I'm just feeling inspired and excited, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, I know. You're gonna have to listen to the first half of this because her story is so it's a perfect story for like somebody becoming a clown. It's and now hearing you talk about like the after effects, you went into it, you were depressed, and then like now you're like I'm hopeful and this and it's I love it. So
Oh, I will have to
perfect.
listen because I'm currently coming out of trying to get out of some depression. Probably not for the same reasons, but and
Yeah,
one of my goals to help my transition out of it is to become a content creator. Again, like that creativity, giving
yeah,
you hope to like continue, and be your best self and all that.
yeah,
So that I can relate to, just like generally speaking. But
yeah. I'd say I think in that respect too, like for me, clowning specifically, because like I totally get where you are. I was super depressed. I was not in a good spot. And like I told Tana earlier, it's given me a chance to laugh at myself.
mm.
And I hold myself to really high standards. So when you talk about like wanting to be inspired to be a content creator again, I struggle with that all the time. And I
Hmm.
have to sit back and laugh because I'm like, I am a clown. What do they expect of me? Like, what can I put out there that you would be like, wow, they're a clown, right? Like, at the end of the day, if nothing else, I can use this as like a reason to lower like my own bar for like, how good something has to be. And like, because the idea is like the more you create, the better you get. And when you
Hmm.
stop, you pull that creativity back in, like you kind of shut it off. And I don't know, like it's been a world of color I've opened up and a journey of like kind of being softer on myself. I hope that you find that for yourself too, because I think as creators, although some people make fantastic things when they are in a dark place, the majority of us do not.
Hmm.
We need that creativity to thrive.
Yeah, that's actually a good point though on content creation. I think now's a good time. I'm gonna pull up your Instagram and you could tell us a little bit about what you put up on here.
Yeah, so the first three are my three like main makeups. So this is at a place called Ralph's Diner. We actually used my juggling balls, they're LED, to make this cool light effect to take that. And that's my hat, but that's like my traditional clown look.
is there sparkles on your nose?
I have glitter noses.
I love glitter and sparkles. That's fantastic.
Yes. I just branched out and I face paint and I have this face paint glitter and I just started adding it to some of my clown makeup and it makes me so unbelievably happy. It's not even funny. That's the other makeup look I have with the heart. And that's more, I mean, I don't dress with the mismatching pattern during the day, but is more of like my typical daily aesthetic, is all black and white. But that's my clown, and that's Clown Stick. So that is one of my little puppet toys. So I found him in an antique store, and he's fantastic. I've got my rubber chicken earrings on. I've got a goose pin made by Ribbit, one of our clowns. Um,
That's so
my
fun.
clown overalls. But yeah, so that's a recent picture I took at Valentine's Day. I did that weekend. But yeah, I got my big bows. One of the things that's like really been fantastic is finding all of these absurd accessories to use. So whether it's like the big bow, I have two of them now. I have pink and black. Whether
That's
it's my
fun.
noses, I use Red Nose Factory for my noses, and I think I have three black and three red now. That's you guys.
Yeah.
um, so yeah, that's Sunshine, and he's my partner in juggling. and that's us doing some silly juggling together. And as you can see, like, I posted myself messing up because I think it's fantastic. It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
And truly, like, I've never laughed at my own mistakes more than this. But yeah, aren't you worried about what people will think? And that's one of the things about being a clown. Like, why would I worry? You know?
Yeah, I think being a clown is definitely a big help, I think, for people who want to like get out there and not care what people think. I think
Yeah.
that would be a good place to start. Just be a clown.
Yeah. I mean, you're a clown. That's actually a birthday party. That was a 1-year-old birthday party. That was a wild event. That's a
Wow.
party I just did. And so I juggled for that for like the hour that we performed. That was like a $20,000 party. It was absolutely wild. I have never seen so many custom like
What?
props and stuff. It was wild. It was a
Wait, you
beautiful
mean you
party.
got paid 20,000?
No, that was the budget. But I mean, all that stuff was custom. I didn't even post the pictures of like they built like a train for this baby. They had a play.
What?
It was wild. It was wild. They had
Wow,
Oh
go
my
big or go
god.
home.
Yeah, they had, and so actually, this is some of the performers. This is Aerialicious Entertainment, and that's Gina and Joe, and oh, I'm blanking on her real name. I can remember her Instagram name.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
incredible.
I love
Uh,
all of your get-ups are fantastic.
thank you. See, like that's a suit that Sunshine, the clown I was juggling with, he made that for me. I say the next picture is like a small artist in Europe that made that corset and pants. This was the charity event I just did juggling at, and that was a cool event because it's called the Audeville Society, and they do grants for small performers. So you can apply for grants up to $5,000 to kickstart your act. And
I'll
yeah,
have to look
they're
into that.
yeah fantastic group as well. So that's face painting.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love all of it. Oh my. I feel like if I were a clown, I'd probably dress very similarly.
Yeah,
And like super inspired to like try to do more with my fairy character.
I would
Fairy
love to
clown.
see
Fa-
that. Yeah.
Fairy clown? I
Yes.
mean, yeah, why not?
I've seen some beautiful fairies that have come across like my For You page recently, and I've seen like them do like things with bubbles and I don't know, just all the stuff like I've never really thought about like people doing like
Mm,
a fairy cosplay or a fairy act, and I don't know, I would love to see what you can do because it's so fun.
mm.
It's really the sky's the limit with these types of things.
Man,
It
I'm getting like
is.
so inspired.
I know.
I just want to quit my job and do
Yes.
content creation every day. That's literally what I want to do.
Same.
I mean,
Right?
and I like my current job. I don't dislike
Yeah.
it, but
I mean,
but
I
it's
work in
not
a
the same.
so I can't say the same. I'd rather do this all day, but it's okay.
One day we'll get there.
One
All of
one
us.
day we will. One day we will. No, and I love that this is like a hobby and a creative passion that I can take into old age.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
I love the older generation that does clowning. I think it's so fantastic because just even at clown college, like I was able to watch those like that whole group of people walk in and they're typical, just like plain clothes, like older people. And then the next day they have a blue wig on. They've painted like or they've got like big fake teeth in. They've got like their blush and they've got like all their makeup and they're wearing like mismatched prints and like just a whole different person comes out. Like you can see like they're tapping their inner child as well.
I love
That's
it.
actually my clown alley at our 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, I was
So
about to ask because I'm like, this is quite a lot of
yeah,
clowns gathered under one roof.
it is. It is. It is.
I love the diversity of each and every one of them. They all
Yeah.
have a different look, and it's like you can just look at this photo and you can just feel the different personalities jumping out, and it's so cool to feel that and to see it.
Yeah.
Everybody looks
It's
so happy too.
they are honestly like we laugh so much when we're together. And technically, it's all clowns, and we have one mime, but he's in disguise. He's not miming in that picture. He's got full color on.
That's cool.
Yeah, but you can
I
see
mean,
like we've got
mimes are technically a clown too, right?
they're not technically. They are, but they're not, if that makes sense. So like he is a clown mime, but traditionally like they don't do the nose, they don't do the same makeup. They obviously they do like a lot of the gestures, or the like the gestures, not the gestures. The gestures.
Oh wait, hold on a minute. I missed the opportunity. There was a laughing button. That's all right.
The
We'll go with
I
the
was
gestures.
gonna
drum
say
sound.
the moment's gone too far.
It's even funnier now that I did the sound effect like 5 minutes late.
I love it. Yeah, but they're like clown adjacent. So we'll welcome them into the group. They're fantastic. But yeah, I appreciate that our mime wears a clown nose. I think that makes him a clown mime, if you will.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So like just silly things. This is actually an art project. It's a French photographer that has people take photo booth pictures of an everyday object that means a lot to them. So this was me with my nose. I was the first clown he got to feature. And that was a super fun one.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, this is a funny one. Yeah. I don't know. Clowning is just fantastic. See, this is me just being a goofball. It's my partner Sunshine again. And yeah, it's just clowning is a great reason to be absolutely absurd and silly and just to laugh and annoy your friends.
Man, the content that you post is awesome. I love it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna bring us back to the studio now so I can
Yeah,
see you more full. But this is you can do so much with it. And
yeah,
I've learned so much just talking to you about clowns and I have a new respect for it and man, who knows, maybe one day I'll do something with number 2 pencil man, maybe a one-time clown thing. I don't know.
yeah. Pop a red nose on him and grab a horn or trying to think. Actually, you could do a bunch of good clown bits. Like if you think of like number 2 pencil man, right? Eraser.
Mhm.
There's like a popular clown bit where you have the giant eraser, and it's like for your little mistakes, and it's this giant eraser. You do all sorts of stuff like that.
I love it.
So yeah, it's good. The bits and the little gags, I have such a new appreciation for them as a clown. Like
Yeah.
I love little things in my pocket I can just whip out and like make a bad joke with.
You're talking my kind of thing. I would love to just be able to be like, "Wacha, here's this thing. We're gonna
Yeah,
make something with it now."
yes. Big pockets are a must. I like to, especially with children, I love to pull like really large objects out of seemingly small pockets. They're always like, "What?" Great.
Mine's just, where'd that come from? You can see
Yeah,
it is clearly a normal pocket.
right? Yeah, I've been trying to like learn some like close-up magic so I can do a little bit of that with them too.
Oh,
Yeah, it's another
magic.
thing from childhood I loved, and then you don't really do magic in like school and stuff. They like tend to take that stuff away, so I stopped. But I'm trying to learn again.
Yeah, it's just the Institute trying to make us boring.
Yeah, like I have to pay attention. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'd rather be doing creative things and, That's incredible. Okay, did you have anything?
Oh, I don't want to hold her up because it's been over an hour, right?
Let's get one thing in from you. Yeah.
I mean, sorry, I'm getting quite tired myself, so
That's okay.
I don't know if I have any questions at the moment, but just thank you. Like, I wish I could have been here for the whole episode because it's been super interesting and again, like super inspiring. And what state are you in again?
I'm in Massachusetts.
Oh, that's not too horribly far.
Yeah, I know. We'll have to
No.
go make a trip sometime.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Go see
Yeah.
when they do a
Yeah, you
clown
all are
thing.
awesome. Like, yeah, it's just what you're doing is everything you said is also it's just so powerful. Like that's what keeps saying out to me about creatives who form communities so that they can grow in their craft, like whatever it is, and
Yeah.
It's just so it's just so powerful. And it's almost like we've been tasked with keeping creativity alive. It seems like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems like the people that try to be in charge of the world don't want that. And we're just like
No.
we're just defying them and be like, "No. No, we this is what we're doing. You cannot take our creative spirit from us. Like, that's not allowed." And I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
such a good statement, as
That
always.
is.
Oh, thanks, dear.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
had so many
No,
great thoughts.
I really resonate with that. I think that any sort of creativity in the general state of the world right now is an active revolution. I think that
Mhm.
any sort of community or encouragement that you can get is absolutely worth it because we need that to survive.
That's why we're doing this. That's why we started trying to build a community that we can just bring together. We can share resources. We can help people. Our main goal is to empower those with any type of dream to get out there and do it. Because there's so many people in the world that are just like, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. Like, oh, if I do it, there's all these risks, or people will make fun of me and things like this, or there's so many factors that just keep them down. It's like, no, we're here to help encourage, empower, help them with resources, and bring everybody together to work together. And I think it's very much needed in today's
Yeah.
world. And it's just one way that we can fight back against the mundane and make, I don't know, just bring everybody back to life in a way and let them just
Yeah.
run free and create and do everything that they were born to do, because we were born to create. It's everybody has that creative spark in them, and it shows
Yes.
up in different ways.
Yes. I would agree.
But yeah, since we are getting close to the end, I did want to
Yeah.
ask you one final question. And it might be hard for you to narrow this down, but I want to ask, what is your all-time favorite thing about being a clown? And what words would you give to anybody who would be interested in pursuing being a clown?
Yeah. I think my favorite thing about being a clown in general is just the laughter, whether it is my laughter and I'm, you know, getting to release all of the stress and anxiety of day to day, and I'm allowing myself to be fully present and laugh, or it's the laughter of my friends, it's the laughter of my clients, it's the laughter of children I'm working with. Like, you can't, a kid's belly laugh, like, you can't beat it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care if he's laughing because I accidentally, like, threw my balloon pump and now I have to go find it because it's in a bush. Just having that laughter continuously surround me is, I wouldn't trade it for the world. And there's nothing else that I think I can get that same amount of laughter from. And then in terms of anyone looking to clown, my advice is to just do it. Whether you start small or you want to go full white face, just any sort of attempt, whether it's, I'm gonna put on a polka dot shirt. I just saw actually this video, and this girl was like, I'm gonna attempt to get out of my comfort zone and do clowncore, and she just used her own closet and she mismatched like a polka dot top and some striped pants, and she was like, I'm really uncomfortable. And then she did like the bare minimum makeup, and she was like, like, it's starting to make sense, like, I feel more comfortable. I think any small step you can take, whether it's going to a clown alley, if there's one local to you, I know a bunch of people have seen the Woo Clowns, they're trying to start them. Or, if it's just doing it in the comfort of your own home, if it's doing your makeup and walking yourself out of the house, I've tried it, it works.
How
But
it all began.
yeah, like, thrifting something that's out of your comfort zone, that's bright and colorful and full of patterns, whatever it is, like, just take that first step, learn that little circus skill that you've been eyeing, and just do it for yourself, because it truly is, it's a joy maker.
I was waiting to get that. It was like,
I love the sounds. I
I
want
try.
like a little soundboard.
I know. I feel it's so hard, especially when I'm the one running it by myself. It's easier when other people are asking questions too, because I can just be like, all right, hit this button now. And then I don't
Yeah.
miss the joke thing like I did that one time. And everybody's probably going to be like, that was awkward. But I'm going to be like, ha ha ha, I specialize in that. As having a
Perfect.
soundboard is a lot of responsibility, especially when you're trying
Mm.
to run the whole show. But I try. I do my
Yeah,
best.
you did great.
But I think clowns should have soundboards in general. You guys should just carry it
Yeah,
around, you know. We'll,
right?
we'll
Like a
make it a
little
thing.
soundboard.
Man, I am so inspired. And before we wrap this up, I just wanted to say thank you too, first off, for coming on the show. It means a lot, especially as we are just starting out and slowly growing. Like, to see all the creators that have gotten on board with us has been amazing, and to make all these connections. And I'm sure we'll be in touch going forward, and hopefully we can
Yeah,
even help others if you know anybody else in your clown alley that would want to come on, because this is a podcast for
absolutely.
all creators. I mean, anybody wants to step into the spotlight, we're here for it, and that's what we want to do going forward. So it means a
Yay.
lot, like anybody who's jumped on from the beginning, and as we grow, I hope that we can all continue to grow together. So thank you for that. I also wanted to ask you one last thing, because I want to
Yeah.
give you the chance to tell everybody, where can they find you? Like, where can they follow you?
Yeah. So right now, best place is Instagram. You can check out Mother Lucy Goose, one word. I'm working on a website, and that'll eventually be in a link tree. I have a couple like secondary Instagrams. Like one is like Goose Twist Balloons, and that's just me twisting balloons. But
Very
those are
cool.
really just backups. So if you see another one of me, it's probably me too. I think I have a Facebook page as well. Same name, Mother Lucy Goose. But yeah, you can find me there.
I think I found you on TikTok as well.
Oh yeah, TikTok. Yep, that's also Mother Lucy.
That's awesome.
TikTok is there. I barely post there, but I'm trying to get better at that as well.
Yeah. We all know the struggle of that, but I feel like
Right?
we'll get better at it. And if we keep telling
Yeah.
ourselves we will, we definitely will at some point.
It's all about trying, right? You just gotta put the effort in.
Absolutely. Definitely go check out Goose on all the social media platforms. And if you're looking for a clown for your next party or event, and you're in the New England area, so
I am in the New England
do you
area.
travel anywhere outside of the New England, or you just primarily stay there?
I travel in New England. It is big enough.
Gotcha. If you're in New England and you're watching this and you need a clown for your next event, definitely recommend Goose. Go check her out. I think you have something on your link tree that they can book you.
Yeah, if I have a request from you.
Yeah, definitely. She's fantastic. All of her clowns in her alley are fantastic, I'm sure. I haven't met them, but just looking at the picture and feeling their energy, there's a
They're
clown for
great.
everything. So get in touch
Yeah.
with them and go check them out. And if you want to help support the podcast, once again, follow us on our social medias at Dreamscape Empyrean. That is our group name. The podcast is called Indie Synergy Exchange, and it is available on YouTube, and we are on Podbean. Got to get better at uploading that. We got to get a logo, and once we have a logo, we'll be on all major audio platforms. That should be soon, hopefully. It's been a while. We're 12 episodes in now. Wow, 12 episodes in now. We still don't have a logo. Working on it. It's a group effort. We're putting it
Yeah.
all together as we go. But definitely check us out there. And like I said, if you want to be on the show, if you are an indie creator of any kind, whether you're a clown, whether you're a musician, a writer, an artist, a business owner, the list goes on and on. If you have a dream and you are following it and you are trying to make strides in it and you want the spotlight, reach out to us. We can get you on the podcast. We schedule out, but we do try our best to be flexible. So definitely reach out to us, DM us on any of our socials. You can email us at dreamscapeempyrean@gmail.com. Reach out to us one way or another, and I'll probably be the one who will get in touch with you, but we will get in touch with you and we will get you on the show. So please definitely subscribe, comment, like. Anything that gets us out there helps us get other creators out there. So please consider doing that. And yeah, I think you can check out my lovely wife on social media at Lemons with Wings, and you can find me at Tanner's Tales Entertainment or Number 2 Pencil Man. Rachel and Frae were not here tonight, but you can check them out as well. Their stuff will be in the link as well. I think that's the end of it. Without further ado, we just want to thank you again, Goose, for coming on. It was
Thank
an
you.
absolute pleasure to get to know you, to hear about your passion, your story. Incredible. I am going to be so inspired tonight. I might not be able to sleep, but it's
Yep.
fantastic. Thank you again for your time, and for all of you podcast listeners out there, go chase your dreams, and we will see you on the next episode of Indie Synergy Exchange. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.